Convert 28.5 kilometres to metres. Well, there's 1,000 metres in a kilometre, so times by 1,000. Tonnes to kilos, there's 1,000 kilos in every tonne. Mils to litres, there's 1,000 mils in every litre, so this time we need to divide. Okay, Farmer Joe's is 43 megalitres of water. How many kilos? Kilolitres? Well, there's 1,000 kilolitres in every megalitre. Okay, the width of the room is measured to be 3.66 metres. Now, to find the absolute error, we first need to find the precision, which is the lowest place value. So the lowest place value is one of those, and the others will be 0. So 0.01 of a metre. So the absolute error is half that, which is 0.005 of a metre. Now the percentage error is the absolute error over the measurement times that by 100, because it's a percentage, and you get 0.14%. Now, you can also be asked about the limits of accuracy. So what is the minimum width? The minimum width is the absolute error below, which would be 3.655, and the maximum would be the absolute error above that, 3.665. Okay, two significant figures. Okay, we already have 2 digits, but the 9 will affect, so that will be round up to 39. We have 2 significant figures there, which the 3 will not affect. Now we must keep place value, so we replace it with zeros. C. Now the first 2 significant figures will be the 8 and the 7. The zeros do not count at the start of decimals, so 0.0087, because the 2 won't affect it. The 6 and the 5 are our 2 significant figures. The 8 will affect to round it up to 66, and we replace all other digits with zeros. Okay, now 8,350,000,000 in the volt. Write this in scientific notation. Now remember scientific notation, the decimal must be between the first 2 digits, because it must be less than 10. So it will be 8.35 times 10 to the, now the decimal is just there. How many decimal places does it move to get to there? And it is 9. Okay, 4.6 times 10 to the negative 10. Now this time we need to move it that way to go backwards to write as a normal decimal notation. So you need to move it 6 times. So it will be 0. Okay, simplify each ratio. Okay, look for common factors, 15 and 60. 15 goes into that once and 4 times. Now B, now the slower way would be to change it to a mixed numeral first. So 1.5 is 3 on 2, 3 1/4 is 13 on 4. You need common denominators, so you've got to times the 3 on 2 by 2, becomes 6 on 4, and 13 on 4. And when they're the same, the bottom are the same, you just take the top. Now, you can do that on your calculator also. You can just do 1.5 divided by 3 1/4 equals, and it will get you 6 on 13. Okay, now minutes versus seconds for C. So we need to change both to seconds, so we get 300 dot dot 100. The zeros can be cancelled, and you're left with 3 to 1. Now 50 kilos to 1,000 kilos. Cancel a 0. 5 goes into 100 20 times and once into 5. Okay, a milkshake contains 10 parts milk, 2 parts flavouring and 4 parts ice cream. How many mils of flavouring are there in half a litre of milkshake? So add up all the parts, 10, 2 and 4, and you get 16. So flavouring is 2 out of the 16, and half a litre is 500 mils. And you get 62.5 mils. How much milkshake would contain 110 mils of flavouring? Alright, so flavouring is 2 parts. The whole milkshake is 16 parts. So we need to times by 8 to get into the full 16. And you get 80 mils. Alright, 4, 4, 3, 80 between Phoebe and Patrick in a ratio of 3 to 2. So Phoebe will get 3/5 of 4, 4, 3, 80, while Patrick will get 2/5 of 4, 4, 3, 80. Alright, a hose fills the 10 litre bucket in 25 seconds. Calculate to the nearest minute the time required to fill 40 kilolitres. Okay, so 10 litres. How do you get 10 up to 40 kilolitres? Okay, so to get 10 litres up to a kilolitre, we need to get up to 1,000. So 10 times 100 will get us to 1,000. Then we're going to times by 40 to get up to 40 kilolitres. Now, we also do that to the seconds. So 25 times 100 times 40 gets us 100,000 seconds. Divide by 60 and you get to the nearest minute 1667. Eamon Sullivan swam 50 metres in 21:28. Correct. Calculate in metres per second. So we need it in 1 second, not 21.8. So we need to divide by 21.28. And you get approximately, or 4 significant figures, you get 2.350 metres per second. Now in kilometres an hour, so start again. So we've got 50, we're going to divide by 21.28 to get it into 1 second. We're going to times it by 60 to get into a minute, times by another 60 to get it into an hour. Now it's in metres, so then we divide by 1,000 to get into kilometres. So kilometres per hour. And we get 8.459. Okay, if you could maintain this speed, how long would it take him to swim a kilometre? So speed is distance over time, so time will be distance over speed. So we're talking about 1 kilometre divided by 8.459 kilometres per hour. And when you do that, you get 0.14 whatever hours, but we need it in minutes, so we're going to times it by 60 and you get approximately 7 minutes. Okay, Melanie owned 2,500 shares after the stock market crash, she dropped 18%, but then gained 5%. What was the share price after 2% change? So we start off with 2,400. If it crashes 18%, we lose 18%, therefore we're left with 82%. And then if it increases by 5, we now have 105%. Now that gets 2,066.40. What overall percentage change? Now you can use that number, but I think it's easier just to start off again with 100% times by 0.82 because you lost, times by 1.05 because you gained, and you get 86.1%. Now you started with 100%, 86.1, therefore you've decreased by 13.9%. Okay, so perimeter. Alright, so that is 2, 4 and 2, so therefore it's 8. So the perimeter will be 8 for the top, 8 for the ones I just highlighted. You don't individually have to do 2, 4 and 2. 9 for the side, 9 for the side, and 3 and 3, or 6 for both the two cuts. Okay, with B, we need that side there, so we need to use Pythagoras, 52, and the remaining from 119 from 80, which would be 39. So x squared equals 52 squared plus 39 squared. We get 4,225. When we square root that, we get 65. Therefore, the perimeter will be 80 plus 52 plus 119 plus 65. For C, so we have a perimeter, we'll have 15 plus 7 plus 22 plus the curve bit, which is quarter of a circle. So circle is 2 times pi times the radius. Now the radius is 7. Either there or there, doesn't matter. Now we have a quarter, so we're going to divide by 4. And that equals 54.99, but we want 2 decimal places, so 995, sorry, so 54.995. We want to stop just there. The 5 will round it up to a 10, which will round it up to a 10, and carry over. And 8,400 millimeters squared to centimeters squared. So normally millimeters to centimeters we need to divide by 10, but because it's area, it's 10 squared. Now 5.6 hectares to meter squared. Well, there are 10,000 meters squared in every hectare. Okay, area. So let's cut this line and this line. So we'll have 2 by 2 for the top square, plus, now because this here will be 2, therefore this will be 6, so 3 by 6, plus 2 by 11, because it is 2, 6 and 3. So we end up getting 44 meters squared. Okay, the trapezium, we can break it up into rectangle and triangle, but trapezium, half, top plus bottom, times height, and you get 1,040 centimeters squared. Okay, the annulus. Okay, the annulus, you need pi times the big radius. Now the big radius will be 4.2 and 5.3, which is 9.5 squared, minus the small radius, which is 4.2 squared. Two significant figures, so you get 203, so 22 and 3 are your two significant figures, and replace the other figure with a 0. Okay, the offset. Alright, so we need to start at P. We go 52 meters to S, but we don't write that on there. Now, from P, we go 24, and then we go right 15 to T. Then from 24 to 30, which is 8, we go left 10 to Q. Then we go from 32 to 52, 20, and we go 16 across to R. Now we join those points together. Okay, so calculate the area in meters squared. So therefore we have the big right-hand triangle, which will be half, times the base, which is 52, times the height, which will be 15, plus the triangle just there, which is half times, now 24 and 8, which is 32, or it tells you, times the height, which is 10, plus the top trapezium, which is half, 16 and 10, times by the height, which is 20. Now you get 810 meters squared. Now in hectares, we need to divide by 10,000, which gets us 0.081 hectares. Right, convert centimeters cubed to millimeters cubed. So centimeters to millimeters, we need to times by 10, but because it is volume, we cube. Centimeters to meters, we normally divide by 100, but again, it's cubed. Okay, the volume. Okay, every pyramid will be, the volume is 1/3 times the area of the base, which is 7 by 7, times by 84. 8.4, sorry. Okay, we have a trapezoidal prism, so the trapezium is half, 32 and 54, times by the height, so that is the area of the trapezium, and how far does that area go back? 95. We have a triangular prism, so therefore half times the base is 48, the height is 45, and the height of the whole triangular prism, or how far does that area go back, is 200 centimeters. Or you can do half times 0.48 times 0.45 times 2 to get into meters squared, or sorry, meters cubed. Okay, 19. How many millimeters will a container of 894 centimeters? Well, that's 1 to 1, so 894 mils. How many liters can a 6.5 meter cube hold? Now, there are 1,000 liters in every meter cubed. Alright, so we have a cylinder, so the area will be pi times r squared, that's the area, times by the height, we get you 8.1 metre cubed because it's two significant figures, in litres times by 1,000,